Hello everyone, welcome to yet another video, and in today's video we are going to discuss an important topic, and our topic will be important thumb rules for estimation in civil engineering. So our topic will be important thumb rules for estimation in civil engineering, right? So let me change the color of, okay, that's fine. So actually you know that we cannot calculate each and every item or everything in the field, so sometimes we have to act quickly to move on. So every professional have maintained their own set of thumb rules. So what actually is thumb rule? The first thing we need, the important thing we need to understand is that what actually is a thumb rule. What is thumb rule, right? So at first we have to understand the meaning of thumb rule before jumping into the discussion, right? Thumb rules are actually the appropriate values. You can say that thumb rules are actually some sort of appropriate or approximate values. And thumb rules have usually no units. You need to remember these 2 points. So we use the thumb rules for almost every calculation, right? Like calculating the concrete or manpower estimation, or the material required for plastering, wastages, brickwork, and there are a lot more, right? So for example, if someone asks that what is the requirement of bricks for 1 meter cube, if someone asks for 1 meter cube what is the requirement of bricks, right? You can do the calculations for this and you can get some answer, right? But these calculations will take time taking. So in many cases we actually need an approximate answer, and we have less time bound. If we are time bound, then we need to get an approximate value, and for that we actually use thumb rules, right? So we will divide these thumb rules into around 6 to 7 different lectures. So in those lectures we are going to discuss about the thumb rules for estimating the manpower productivity, right? And we will discuss the thumb rules for concrete work, and we will discuss the thumb rules for like plastering work, and we will discuss the thumb rules for brickwork, and then we will discuss the thumb rules for steel in RCC structures, and we will also discuss the thumb rules for concrete material requirements, and then last we will discuss the thumb rules for shuttering work. So we are going to discuss thumb rules for all these one by one. So in today's first lecture we are going to discuss the thumb rules for steel in RCC. So the first topic we are going to discuss in today's lecture is thumb rules for steel. Let me write down the title. Thumb rules for steel in RCC structures, right? So let's start with it. Let me underline this. Okay, fine. So the steel costs very expensive, right, as compared to the other construction materials, and the excess purchase of steel requirement impacts the project budget, overall budget of the project. So a good designer actually restrains steel utilization. So actually this is one of the important component or material in any construction project. So let's discuss the thumb rules. I will write down the thumb rules as I will first write the type of structure, and then in next column I will write the steel which is going to be used, how much kg per square feet, SFT, right? So the type of structure, the first type of structure is residential buildings. Residential buildings. For residential buildings, we actually approximately, as I already mentioned in the start of the lecture, that all these values are approximate values. So for residential buildings, we actually consider 2.5 to 4.5 kg of kg weight steel per square feet. And for commercial buildings, we actually consider 4.5 to 5.5 kg steel per SFT, square feet. And for mass projects like tall buildings or heavy structures, which we call as mass projects, for mass projects like tall or heavy structures, we take 6 to 8 kg steel per SFT. So these are some thumb rules for the steel based upon the type of structure which we are using, right? This is based on type of structure we are using. And the next thing we are going to discuss is, let me add a page. Okay, so got it right. These were the thumb rules for steel on the basis of the type of structure, what type of structure you are actually using. On the basis of that, for residential buildings 2.5 to 4.5 kg of steel per square feet, for commercial buildings 4.5 to 5.5 kg per square feet, and for mass projects like high-rise buildings or heavy structures, it will be 6 to 8 kg per square feet. And we also usually find the percentage of steel against the concrete volume, and the steel percentage against the concrete volume will vary based on the structural element and the minimum and maximum percentage of steel actually utilized So I will list down on the basis of structural element. The previous discussion was based on the type of structure, and now we will discuss on the basis of structural element. Structural elements. Structural elements include like slabs, beams, columns, footings, right? And what percentage of steel in concrete? It is based upon based upon volume of concrete. So we will find the percentage of steel based on the volume of concrete. So structural elements like slab, beams and columns. For slab, we actually consider 1% steel. 1% steel of total volume of what? Of concrete, right? Like if we have a slab and let's say the volume of slab is equal to 100 meter cube, then we will consider 1%. 1% means 1 meter cube. Around this, it should contain steel in it, right? So similarly for beams, we consider 1 to 2% of steel in the concrete, and for columns we consider 2.50% of steel in the concrete. So these were the thumb rules for steel inside any RCC structure. So before concluding the topic, let me consider one example. Let's discuss an example. Let's say, for example, as we know that steel quantity is equal to volume of concrete multiplied by density of steel multiplied by percentage of steel. This is the thumb rule formula. So for example, if we take that if the volume of concrete, if we have a concrete with a volume of 1 meter cube for slab, let's say we have a slab with 1 meter cube of concrete, and we want to find how much steel we need for this slab with 1 meter cube of concrete volume. So by using the thumb rule, we can find it, the approximate steel requirement. So by using the formula, let me change color. By using this equation, let's say this is equation 1. By using equation 1, we can find the approximate steel we need for 1 meter cube of slab. So volume of concrete as mentioned here is 1 meter cube, right? So 1 meter cube of concrete multiplied by density of steel. What is the density of steel? Density of steel is 7850, right? 7850 0.50 kg per meter cube. This is the density of steel, and then we need to multiply the percentage of steel. For slab, what we have said, we said that for slab we consider 1% of steel, right? So 1% means 1 divided by 100. So solve this and you will get the approximate value of steel, which is 78.5 kgs per meter cube. So we have 1 meter cube, right? So for 1 meter cube we need, for 1 meter cube we may need 78.5 kg of steel for this particular slab. So this was an example. So within few seconds you can find out the approximate value. So wherever you need to solve or find the quantity of steel and you have time limitations, you can use these thumb rules, right? So that's it for today, and in coming videos we will discuss the other thumb rules, like I have discussed in the start of the lecture, that in this lecture we have discussed this one, right? Steel thumb rules for steel in RCC structures. In the coming lectures we will discuss the thumb rules for manpower, productivity, then concrete work, and then thumb rules for plastering work, thumb rules for brickwork, thumb rules for concrete material requirement, and then thumb rules for shuttering work. So stay tuned and see you guys in next video. Till then, goodbye.